I think what I love most about traveling is just the fact that no matter how long you've been doing this, you always see something new that just makes you feel like a kid inside a candy store again. Like, just look at the architecture on these walls. So this is the Residence building, courtyard, there we go. This is the courtyard here for the Residence, and just look at the building. It's just wild. When you're coming to the Residence Museum here in Munich, you're gonna be entering like a courtyard. You're gonna see a Poseidon statue, and then this is going to be the entrance into the actual museum. So when you first give the guy your ticket, just know it's going to be 9 euros, 8 euros if you have your student ID. But this place is just really beautiful. This is the Hall of Antiquities. This was built there in the 1500s, and just look. Like, if you just look up, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just so beautiful in here. So the real question is, since you are German, how does it feel to be here?
I mean, I don't know them, right? They wear some Bavarian dukes, and I'm not even from Bavaria.
He's not from Bavaria, so it's not his kingdom. So, interesting enough, this place, the Residence here in Munich, was actually the place that the Dukes of Bavaria served from and conducted governmental businesses for hundreds and hundreds of years here in Bavaria, Germany. So we're here in the Hall of Antiquities, and this was built in the 1500s. And let me give you a brief little history about the Residence Museum. It is the Bavarian region, and for centuries, like many centuries, the Dukes ruled here, conducted governmental business here during their time on power as a monarchy. I think this is one of those things where when you're traveling, I have just never seen anything sculpted like this before, I guess made like this. Like, it's made of seashells and just giving you like a sea energy. And then when you come over here, it's just wild. All right, so we're here in the Hall of Antiquity. That last place, that was not it. This is the place. And when I tell you guys, it is so beautiful. If you're coming to Munich, you have to make sure you stop here. It's only 8 minutes from that plaza that we were at, and it's just gorgeous. It's just magnificent. Like, when you look up at the ceiling, it's just so breathtaking. I see now why in Italy there was the Sistine Chapel. I see now why they painted on the ceiling here. It's just gorgeous to look up at something, and it's truly a work of art, truly a work of art. Like, there is no space left. Like, every single space is filled up. It's crazy. So whenever you do come to the Residence Museum here in Munich, here is how big it is. This is a miniature sculpture of it with all these courtyards. So when you come, just know it's a very big place, like ginormous. When you do come on this tour of the Residence Museum, it is a 2 to 3 hour tour, depending on how much you read. But as you guys can see, like, it's definitely worth it. So we're in the ornate room right now, and there's over 130 rooms in the Residence Museum. From huge rooms like this, to long hallways, to rooms filled with rugs, to rooms filled with paintings. Like, there's definitely something here for everyone. All right, so I just want y'all to hear me out. Right now, we're in the green gallery, the green room, and I just feel like the more palaces I go to, the more churches I go to, I just realize that we're all the same as human beings. If you go to the White House someday, like, you need to go to the White House, but if you go to the White House someday, there's a green room, there's a red room, it's just crazy on how everyone is trying to show that they're rich. It's just magnificent, just crazy. So we're here in a bedroom. Now just look at the way you enter the bedroom. Like, you can't even enter the bedroom unless you open the little gate. That's crazy. I've never had a bedroom like that where there's a gate to enter into my slumber. Can't forget the German beer when you're in Deutschland. Cheers. Cheers. All right, so when you do come to, what is this place called again? I forgot.
English Garden.
When you do come to the English Garden, I'm telling you guys right now, bring some swim trunks, swimwear, swimsuits, because as you guys can see, there's a river right there. And people come here, they go swimming, they go drinking, they play volleyball, a lot of different games. I can just see right now, like, there's at least 10 volleyball nets here. So summertime here in Munich, this is the place to be. It is the place to be. But don't be like us. Bring swim gear and go swimming. Right now we're actually headed to get that Korean barbecue finally. So we made it to the Korean barbecue place. It's gonna be his first time. I'm gonna show him how to make somek. So we're gonna start with obviously our mekchu, so Korean beer, and then obviously the soju. We're making the mekchu. So the Korean way to make somek is 2 glasses like this to measure it. And then normally Koreans will just do all this stuff and then they'll take it off, but we're not doing that. This is Pete's soju. As you can see, I kind of over measured it. And then just the cast. This is how my friends do it in Seoul. 1 chopstick in, and then it mixes up. All right, so I got us some appetizers. You know, I'm always going to choose mandu. So in the mandu, well, you guys will see when we get to it. And then also we chose some japchae, so some traditional Korean noodles, glass noodles. Just let's see how good they are. All right.
I think I'm gonna ask him for chopsticks. I'm gonna try that.
I gotta do it with the chopsticks so it looks official. So you guys can see, we got pork and kimchi mandu. Gotta get the sauce, very important. This is good mandu. This is amazing actually. I feel like I'm back in Seoul, South Korea. All right, so the food came. We got our rice, we got our kimchi, we got our sides, we got the salad or the lettuce for the wrapping. We have some wagyu. What was this again? Black Angus, right? Yeah. We have some Black Angus right here, and then obviously the ribeye. So we're gonna get to cooking. You have to look at the wagyu. Just look at that. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. All right, so he's about to try his first wrap of Korean barbecue. You're supposed to eat it all together, like one bite.
That's way too big for one bite.
Yep, and then eat it, yep. And what do you think about the meat? So all in all, I would rate this place a 7 out of 10. I'm sorry, but until you're in South Korea, you know what I mean. But whenever you leave a restaurant, you should always make sure that you clean up after the table. Very important. Clean up makes the waiter, the waitress, their life a lot easier. In the, how do you say it again? Marienplatz. So they're square, which translates into English, that's gonna be St. Mary's Square. Just look at how beautiful this building is. That's one of the things I just love about German architecture. And then one other thing when you're here is you can actually see how much the German government is actually trying to help support different countries. So if you're traveling in Europe right now, you can actually see the Ukrainian flag, which is constantly everywhere here in Europe. One last thing that you don't want to miss whenever you actually are in this gorgeous, beautiful square is coming to see Mary's Column. At the very top, there's a gold statue of the Virgin Mary. It's here to celebrate the end of the Swedish occupation during the 30 Years' War of Germany. Erected in 1638. So make sure you get a little picture, you know, for the Instagram. So when you're traveling across Europe or any continent, I do recommend if you do have a friend, someone who speaks the language, to actually travel with them. Because for example, I don't know what that says. What does that say?
That's Latin, I have no idea.
Ah, never mind. That's Latin. He has no idea. Okay, so don't be like us. Whenever you do come to this square, make sure you show up at 11 a.m. or noon, because at the very top, when the bell rings, there's a little show with little figures moving. I don't know exactly what. Maybe depicting history.
birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.